live. Hello, everybody. This is Search PT Podcast, Episode 3. My name is Dr. Sergio Martinez.
I'm Dr. Rocio Martinez.
And this is Andrew Infante, and he is the owner and personal trainer at Rip Current Athletics. Give us a shout out, man. How are you today?
Hey guys, I'm doing well. Thank y'all for having me on. I really appreciate it. So, just trying to spread the word on health and wellness, man.
Awesome. So yeah, man, we just wanted to, thank you for accepting our invitation, and we just kind of wanted to get a background from you. Go ahead and just let the people know who you are, where you're from, and your background, your training, things like that.
Cool. So yeah, as you guys said in the introduction, my name is Andrew Infante. So I am the owner and head trainer here at Rip Current Athletics. I got into training, due to myself being injured a lot when I was playing sports, and so I pursued that as an undergraduate. I got my bachelor's of science in sport conditioning and sport performance. So that's kind of how I got started with that. And training wise, I did a couple internships with some private coaching, private gyms up there, and also worked heavily with Texas A&M Athletics. So I got a lot of knowledge with them and their physical therapists and athletic trainers and strength conditioning coaches. From there, came back home, and we saw that we needed to get something done here. So
sounds good.
Moved back to Port Isabel, got started with this, and here we are today, 2 years later.
Awesome. And so what made you start Rip Current, man? Like, what was the drive? Like, what made you want to do your own thing?
Well, really, I don't like having a boss. So,
I hear you.
And I don't like working in an office setting. And like I said, with my undergraduate sport conditioning and sport performance, we're always on the field, wanted to be around athletes and people, and so that's how that was one of the driving forces to get Rip Current Athletics started. The main thing was that we saw, as I moved back down to the valley, down to Port Isabel, I saw a need for something different. Here we've always had the conventional style gyms, and everything comes late to the valley. Trends, education, music, everything.
Right. No, I agree.
And so that was something that we saw, was that, there hasn't been another style of training around here. Mm-hmm. And as you guys know, being in the physical therapy, health and wellness fields as well, trends, what was great last week could have been debunked yesterday.
Right.
You have to constantly keep up with your continuing education and, just seeing what works and what doesn't, because tried and true things do work, but there's better ways to do things. And so that was our way. That was our big driving force. Number two was we saw a better way to do health and wellness. Now it's just a matter of educating everybody out there as to exactly what we do and how we do it.
Right. And so what services do you offer? Like what's different about your gym?
Okay. So if you go to any fitness facility, they're going to have they should have at least three pillars of fitness, right? Fitness, health, and wellness. They should always have something, of a personal training option, which is one of the things that we do, personal training, individualized program design, which is where we do, everything's personalized for that client, that person, whoever it may be, whether they're 90 years old and, they're trying to continue walking and be able to, get up and off the toilet independently without having to call somebody. Yeah. Or you're 18 or 17 years old and you're in your senior year of high school trying to get better for sports. Or in our case, 27, about 36, you're just trying to look better, feel better. You don't have that young metabolism anymore. Yeah. And so, the poundage starts packing on. You start getting that dad bod. Well,
I know all about that, man. I know all about that for sure.
Beer belly.
Exactly. Everybody, but just the stresses of life too. Family, work, and then the kids in between. And so having time for yourself, you kind of just go with what's convenient. And so we work with everybody, of anybody and everybody at all ages. And so that's something that's specific to the individual person. So whatever your goal is, that's the personal training part.
So from what you tell me, just to kind of summarize, it's just like you're goal oriented and you work with all ages, correct?
Work with all ages, yes.
Awesome.
And of course,
Awesome.
That's the personal training aspect of it. So
cool.
That's one pillar. The next pillar is our small group strength conditioning. So small group fitness. Now that is going to be more generalized. It's not going to be super individual because it is a group setting. You can only individualize something for a group setting. But with our group strength conditioning program, which we call our RIP 60 and our RIP 45, that's geared towards just general physical preparedness, general physical fitness. So you should be able to run a mile. You should be able to, squat your body weight at least. You should be able to step, jog, step up and over things. You should be able to press, things like that. So not so much for some people function, most function, but it's also we're gonna get you strong. We're gonna make you look good, and you're gonna be able to, go out and run that 5K if you sign up for it and not feel scared about it, right?
Awesome.
And then the third pillar that we offer is our nutrition and accountability services. So that is where we dive into. So right off the bat, we're not dietitians. That's a specialty on its own. So if you have any medical issues like type 1 diabetes, severe type 2 diabetes, anything that's like you have Crohn's disease or something like that, where you have to have a specialized nutrition plan, we don't do that. We do general education and general guides.
Like macros, micros type deal, or
not even really that. So macros and micros, yes, but that's again getting into something that can be very, very, very specialized. But it's more general education. Like some people don't know that when people say they cut out carbs, they're thinking that they're just cutting out the tortillas and bread.
I got you.
What they don't realize is that your fruits are carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, I drink a fruit smoothie every day and I'm not losing any weight. Okay, well, how many fruit smoothies are you drinking? Well, I drink like 3 of them. Okay, well, you understand that's a lot of sugar, right? Like you need that in smaller amounts. Gotcha. Or they don't understand that, vegetables, some veggies have carbohydrates.
Right.
Like your potatoes and even some of your carrots, the sweeter vegetables.
Mm-hmm.
And so people don't understand, like, well, you don't cut out carbs. You cut out the refined carbohydrates, your breads, pastas, and stuff like that, but not
the complex carbs.
All your complex carbs. So, so that's another thing that we offer is the nutrition and accountability. Because some people, if they pay for it, they're going to use it most of the time.
Right.
No, so accountability, forming the good habits, trying to get those bad habits out the way. So that's where we're at with that nutrition and accountability as well. So,
and I think that's a great aspect, Andrew, that you offer that, because nowadays we see a lot of patients that, and really the general pop, we go to social media first, right? We go to Dr. Google and we try to get a lot of our answers there. And so if there's a trend going on, if there's a dietary trend, sometimes patients will do more harm than good. Not to say that some of those may be helpful, but some of those may be harmful for patients. And it'll affect not only their performance, but also their mental status, right? Their GI status, their respiratory status. So it can have different side effects. And so having that included as part of your plan is just to have a foundation of where to go to. That's helpful for people, for your members to have. So that's awesome.
Yeah, most definitely.
So go.
You guys,
go ahead.
Yeah. So like Rocio was saying, Dr. Google, Chef Google. You can find some great things. Like, don't get me wrong, self-education is something that a lot of people don't do when it's most needed. But when you go to things like WebMD and you look up something, it's like, oh, I have a pain in my forearm, but WebMD tells you that you're going to die in 2 days. Maybe death coming.
Yeah.
That's something that you want to go. It gets that false. It gives you that false information, and it's like, well,
Right.
it could be a symptom of dying, but more often than not, that's not going to be the case. You guys see it a lot of as well, having to deal with people who have these chronic issues, and they finally come to the physical therapy clinic. Hey, I've had this issue for forever. Why didn't you come sooner? Why have you been pushed to do it? Or like, well, I looked it up on Google, and I saw a YouTube video, and I tried this and this and this. Well, that's what we're here for,
Right.
Right. A lot of patients try to fix it at home, right? By going online and try to do the most. And you're right. A lot of people don't go and search for help because maybe they're not feeling any symptoms, they're not feeling any pain, they're not feeling any specific side effects that's affecting their lifestyle. So sometimes they wait until something like that happens, and then they go to a professional afterwards. So having that interaction, I think, with you is awesome, because at least they can bounce off, their doubts or any questions that they have regarding any of these things, and and be guided in the right direction.
Exactly. And in our case, if we don't know something, we refer out. So we can only do so much on our end. Now, if it's something that's going to be like an acute injury that we know we can't take care of, we're not physical therapists. We don't have that training. So we refer them out. So like in this case, somebody comes into us, hey, I'm having this, and this issue. Okay, well, go see the guys at Surge. They'll make sure that you're whatever their special. This is their specialty. They'll get you taken care of. Once you're cleared from their program to get you back on your feet, we'll take you, because you guys get them walking, we get them running again. We continue on with that.
And so that's why we wanted also to talk to the community about our collaboration with you, right, of our Aftercare program. And so, when we are discharging patients, the odds of our patients keeping up with the home exercise program is minimal, right? And so I think, by us collaborating with you and, having them contact you and set up, a protocol or program of some sort of where they keep doing the exercises that we prescribe them. And obviously, if those are getting easier, advanced as tolerated, right? Because now it's more of an aftercare program. And the beauty about our collaboration is that, hey, you have my cell phone, I have your cell phone. We can exchange ideas, or we can talk about, our post, care patients with you. And if they have any issues or anything, we can always help each other modify things, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be a great thing for the community. I think our community deserves this. They need this. That way they can get back to the life that they want to live. And, with either if it's through insurance or private pay, we can only see the patients for so long, because our goal is to pretty much help them get back to where they want to do things they love, right? And so, usually with insurance, that's kind of where we draw the line, because we're only supposed to really treat patients out of medical necessity, right? So we can't, justify the insurance that, oh, hey, I'm going to keep working on this patient even though he doesn't have any pain because he wants to get better at basketball. It's just not possible, right? And so that's what I like, how we can collaborate with you, because you can definitely help that athlete get back to basketball. And like I said, they would be able to know that we're collaborating with you to develop a plan of care after PT for a safe personal training session with you, so they can get back to their level of desire at a faster rate.
Right.
Exactly.
So referring to getting back to what you love, the lifestyle that you love, but also collaborating with Andrew is maintaining that lifestyle, right? So we're helping the patients get back on their feet, but by sending him over to you, it's like, hey, don't forget about that lifestyle. Don't forget about those gains. Let's maintain those gains. Let's not have any regression, right? Let's prevent injury. Let's maintain what you have gained. So that's really what we're trying to hone in on, is making sure our patients know that therapy is mostly for injury, right? There are some wellness services that we may provide. However, those are more for like dry needling or maybe like a sports massage, cupping, things like that. And then by sending them to you at RIP Athletics, we are continuing they've graduated from rehab, and now they have jumped to more of an advanced level where they can now maintain their gains outside of the therapy realm. Now they've jumped to a wellness realm, right? So this is not therapy for injury anymore. This is more of wellness services, maintaining your strength, increasing your strength at therapeutically supervised levels, right? Because we are letting you know, like, hey, you know, we're sending you a patient, one of our patients that has graduated from therapy. You know, watch out for these and these types of exercises. You know, these are kind of the things that they tolerate, and you know, we can bounce ideas back and forth on each other. So that's really the communication that is critical. There is making sure that we maintain that communication, open relationship, right? So that patients can see that, yes, they do care about me, right? So we're caring for them during therapy, and we care for patients even after the therapy, because a lot of times patients don't hold up with their compliance after therapy finishes, and so they need that continued encouragement and support outside of our realm.
And a steady schedule, a routine. When you stop a routine, it just everything kind of collapses sometimes. And so, if we can just, promote a steady routine for health stuff, for health and wellness and things like that, I think that'd be very beneficial for our community for sure.
An easy transition, right?
And it has to be a team effort, and that's what we're trying to go into now. Because let's say with athletics, like when I worked under at the A&M strength conditioning, whenever an athlete got injured, of course they went to the doctors, team doctors, team athletic trainers and physical therapists worked with them, but they were all working in collaboration with the doctor, the physical therapist, and the strength conditioning coach.
Right.
That's something that we lack here for general population, for one, because education about everything's not there, but maybe there's a lack of resources also, and from what I know, because I hear this time and time again, is I can't do something because I have bad knees. Okay, well, what's wrong with your knees? I went to the doctor and he just said to stop. I can't squat or do anything. Well, why did they tell you? What doctor did you see? Well, I saw my GP, the general physician. Okay, did he send you to a specialist? I mean, even if you get into the specialties, you have a lot of old school orthopedic doctors who will tell their patients that they can't do this, this, and this. Well, instead of telling them that they can't do something, you got to tell them what they can do, or how they can modify certain things,
right?
Or how they can progress into these things, or regress. Because
right.
It's when a patient hears that they can't do something, well, that's automatically going to tell them like, oh, I'm shutting this off,
Right.
And then they come to us, in my case, having worked with injuries, athletes, like I said, everybody, all shapes, sizes, abilities. You come to people like us, and I'm like, okay, well, what exactly did the doctor tell you? Well, that I have bad knees. All right. Well, did he tell you that you should probably look into losing 20 pounds, and that might take a lot of your bad knee issues away because you're 40 pounds overweight? That could be one thing. I've had 2 knee surgeries, 2 ACL replacements, so I know what a bad knee feels like. So tell them something like that, and they're like, oh, well, no, I haven't had any surgery or anything. Okay, well, it could just be a weight loss thing. You take off those 20 pounds and your joints automatically feel great again, Even
Yeah.
one of those things.
Fun fact, for every pound you lose is 4 pounds off of your weight bearing joints. So you lose 10 pounds, it's like 40 pounds off your joints. So, weight does matter.
Exactly.
And we can tap into that a little bit in saying that nutrition is an important aspect of that, right? So nutrition with exercise makes it's really what we're striving for here, not just 100% exercise, because you need to feed your muscles good stuff, right? Good stuff comes in, good stuff comes out. So
food is fuel. Food is fuel, and again, that comes, like we were saying earlier, it comes back to how you're eating and what you're eating. But it's that lack of education, and that's a big thing of is what we lack here. The Hispanic culture in general lacks education in a lot of realms. Health and wellness is one of them. I can say almost for a fact that the Hispanic culture, unfortunately, does not value health and wellness until something happens. We all know, a few aunts or some cousins, uncles, grandma, grandpa that they're type 2 diabetics. But what is type 2 diabetes? It's adult onset. It's over your lifetime, right? Type 1 diabetes, that's a whole other thing. That's for something we can't change. You can manage it very well. I know quite a few type 1 diabetics that, hey, they're as healthy as can be. They just got to monitor a little more. Type 2 is something that it's like, well, he's diabetic. We see, I'm pretty sure you've seen it here, having, toes chopped off, half a foot chopped off, maybe even a whole leg. But it's like, oh, my grandma's just diabetic and that's how it is. I'm predisposed to diabetes. Well, yes and no. Yes and no.
You don't have to follow that trend. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
And even piggybacking on that also is the you were saying about the Hispanic culture. A lot of times we want to solve things because we think we can solve them, right? So we put some Vicks on it and we hope that it feels better. And a lot of the times that may not be the correct thing to do, right? Maybe we do need to get that looked at. And some people may want to do more homeopathic things as well, and take these things and that. And I'm not saying don't do any of that, but there's other natural solutions as well, including therapy. So those are some things to kind of plant a seed on people's minds, as well as don't think that that staying at home, putting Vicks on stuff. And not to say anything bad about Vicks, because I've used Vicks before and it's amazing. I love Vicks. But just to kind of differentiate there, whenever there's an injury, yes, the Hispanic culture sometimes, and I include myself, because I do have family members that say, oh, okay, well, let's put some of this or let's put some of that. And it's like, no, maybe we need to get that looked at, right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And but going back to the original point was this is it has to be a team effort. And so when you have your doctor saying that, hey, you can't do this and this, okay, well, they should refer out to you guys, like physical therapists. You guys y'all have worked with some chronic cases, or very, very badly injured, car crash injuries, things like that, where it's a lot of very, very traumatic injuries. Well, you all get them back to where they need to be, to get to back to their active daily lifestyle, right? To where they can do everything independently, but it's what they do after that as well. And so that's where, again, we come into play. The health and wellness side of it, or the health and fitness side of it, where it's, your physical therapist got you back to this point, but we need to keep you progressing, so that way you don't, like you said, regress, and then you're back in here, you're back with another injury, or you're just stuck in the same spot.
Yeah.
Again, like you're having to ask for help off the toilet when you shouldn't need to, because you can't get yourself up off of it, right?
Right.
And because the way we see it, the way I see it, and I got this from another doctor that I listen to, He puts it pretty plainly is we're a team because the way trends are going with all these kinds of metabolic diseases and things like that people are suffering from due to inactivity and diet. The gym and its care team is going to become a healthcare facility of the future, while the trainer, the physical therapist, they're going to become the next healthcare provider as well. Along with the doctors and nurses and things like that, because a lot of our issues can be solved with a sound diet and activity. A well programmed, well structured fitness regimen.
Right. I mean, definitely. I mean, we work hand in hand with a lot of physicians, and there are times where everything that we do sometimes doesn't help patients. I mean, it's a very small percentage, don't get me wrong, but I mean, it happens. And when that does, I mean, we have to know when to call it, right? Usually for us, it's 2 weeks. I know a lot of other therapy places that wait at least a month. And, I'm pretty confident in our skills and our assessments that, if you're not getting better with us after 2 weeks of therapy, something else is going on. It may not be a mechanical issue after all. It might be a structural issue, and we may need to go get some imaging or some further evaluation from the physician or another specialist, But yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, we all have to collaborate. We all have to, be a team, like you said. And, our goal is to, make the patient better to the maximum potential.
Exactly.
But my next question for you, Andrew, is what are the most common injuries that you see in your gym?
So, we see a lot of overuse injuries, mainly when somebody first starts off, because they don't, you get real gung ho and they get started, they start seeing these changes. They're coming in 5-6 days a week, but they don't listen to their bodies, and they don't listen to, a lot of times they don't listen to us telling them, hey, it's okay to rest. Like whatever changes you made are not going to go away in the next 24 to 48 hours. You have to listen to your body. If it's giving you these little pain signals, well, it's giving you pain signals for a reason. The body's an amazing thing. It's resilient. It's smart. Sometimes it doesn't work the way we want it to, but very little, So a lot of some overuse injuries, not a lot, but it's just a little bit of tendonitis here and there. Pretty
like
much
in the elbow, or where in the knees, ankles?
elbow tendonitis. A lot of golfers' elbow, some tennis elbow. That's pretty much it, really. We tend not to see a lot of injuries because we're very methodical in how we progress somebody through things.
Okay.
Right.
We don't want injuries.
Right.
If you're injured, that defeats the whole purpose of you getting healthy again, right?
Right.
Well, that's not why you came to us in the first place. You didn't come to us to get injured. That's a common misconception about our style of working out, our style of fitness, because everybody thinks about like old school functional fitness, old school CrossFit, right? Whereas like you had to be throwing up. If you weren't throwing up at the end of every workout, then it wasn't good, right?
Right.
That's not how it should be, ever. If you're throwing up, it's because something's wrong. If you're having these injuries, it's because of something wrong. It could be muscle imbalances. That's where we do assessments on the members. For everybody that comes in, we ask them, we have a questionnaire. We ask them to fill it out, have them fill it out to make sure that any issues, any medication, because medication can play a role in cholesterol medication, high blood pressure medication, things like that. It does play a factor into how the body responds to it, especially under stress.
Right.
Working out. Some people may need a little more hydration. They need to drink some more water, or they need to cut out certain things because of the side effects that whatever medication they're on.
Right.
But like I said, injury-wise, we always try to assess first, so that way we know if something's wrong, or if somebody has had a previous injury, like myself, again, knee surgeries and a dislocated shoulder, right? Certain things like I I never try to stay away from anything, but I always try to modify things. Like, during the freeze, some of these, some of these past injuries flared up a little bit, you know. So knee was locking up a little bit more. Well, I didn't just stop. Like, I continued to walk around, do stuff, but instead of jumping rope, I was doing calf raises, right? Instead of doing box jumps, I was doing some small box step ups, taking away some of that pounding from the knees, or just completely, cutting those exercises out, but modifying them for, some box squats, some seated squats, or some assisted squats where you're holding on with like a TRX band to take off some of that pressure from
lower load exercises. Yeah.
Yeah, lower intensity.
Got it.
And that's a good point, is to make sure that you're not only not moving because of the pain, is sometimes you have to, instead of not moving, keep moving, because movement is lotion, right? Doing that lower load so that your body can handle it. And also looking at the 24-hour response of your body, right? So if you are doing a exercise for the first time or whatever, a routine, a circuit, and then you don't know if you've overloaded your body, wait to the next day, the 24-hour response, and see if you really are hurting more than like a 3 out of 10. Then we tell patients you might have done a little bit of overloading there to your body. And so just kind of monitoring it that way, so that like, okay, because we do have to load the body to make progress, right? And it takes anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks to see neuromuscular improvement, meaning like more recruitment to a muscle. That's a different type of strength than actual hypertrophy of the muscle, right? So that doesn't happen till later on. So first you're going to feel strength. If you feel any of that strength getting better, that's that neuromuscular recruitment that's improving to that
muscle memory, basically.
Their motor control is much, much better too. We've had a lot of people that came in, and we don't load, like, let's say for a back squat, right? Some people are scared of barbells, because they don't know how to use them correctly. But before we put a bar on somebody's back, like a power lifter, back squat, we see if they can do an air squat, just a body weight squat. We can see any discrepancies within their, within the squat. We can look at their ankles, knees, hips, back, to see where they're compensating, and how they're compensating. So if we see that, hey, there's the dorsiflexion of the ankle, like they have very, very limited ankle mobility, well, that's going to affect how you're squatting, walking,
right,
running, jumping, things like that. And of course, it goes from the ankles, feet, ankles, knees, hips, low back, upper back. So any discrepancy in that, we can tell right off the bat based off some of our assessments that we do and how we progress people through. So if they can't do an air squat, we're not going to load them up with the barbell back squat. That's not going to help anybody, right?
Right.
And so that we need to get those the basic motor functions, your basic movements first before adding an external load on top of that.
Good.
Weight,
Yeah.
Because if you can't move your body through space, we can't expect you to move something else on additional weight on top of that.
And I think that's why we feel safe, collaborating with you after our patients are done with therapy, just because you understand the concept. But we do explain to our patients is that, just because you don't have any pain during the session or exercises, you do have to listen to your body 24 hours later as well. Just because tendons usually take a little while to respond to the load. And so if it's overloaded, it will let you know either during or 24 hours later as well. And so that's something you have to respect, is the pain. Respect the pain and modify as needed. But going to piggyback off on that, your services, here is a picture of what Andrew has created for our collaboration. So tell us a little bit more about this, Andrew. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so this will be for a lot of your patients coming out of of your program. So, they can only, like you were saying earlier, you can only do so much based off, if they're doing insurance wise, based off the insurance. Because you guys do have to report back the progress, right? Because if they're
Right.
not progressing with you all, well, they'll find a different physical therapist, a different place for them to go, right?
Right.
Based off of the statistics that you guys bring to.
Oh.
And he's disconnected. So let's wait for him to pop back up, and we can kind of go through this briefly. Hopefully he pops up pretty quickly here. Oh, there he is. You want to add him to the stream?
Oh, yeah.
There
And
we
he's
go.
back. All right.
He's muted, I think.
Yes, he's muted. You need to unmute you. There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Here we go. You good?
Yes, very good. All right, we're back on. Perfect.
All right.
All right, so so you kind of disconnected there, but kind of give us a rundown as to what is the perks for patients from Surge, joining your gym after, we discharge them and we want them to continue with the home exercise program, as well as, improve, any wellness activities as well.
Yeah, so most definitely. So like here, once the person graduates from y'all's program, getting them back up on their feet, we want to continue to keep them on there. So here, we have this is our partnership with you guys. 15 for 30-minute sessions, $15 per session, 45-minute sessions, $20 per session, and now we have 4, 8, and 12 session counts. Some people, they're pretty good on their own, and all they need is 4 sessions. That way we can introduce them to a few things, show them how to do things correctly, write them out a program for them afterwards. So show them how to do all the movements that we need them to do safely and correctly. And then we can write them out a program. If they don't, if they can't keep working with us for one reason or another, 4 sessions is all they need for us to show what they need to be taught. And they continue on, let's say, on their own,
Mm-hmm.
because either finances or they just don't have the time anymore, something, right? The 12 sessions, 8 and 12 sessions, those are going to be a little longer. So those are going to be for people that need a little more help. Some of our older clients, we have, for example, we have an 82-year-old client with us. Now, she's not trying to run marathons or anything, or fight the local 5 and 10K. She simply wants to be strong enough and able enough to be able to get around her house and to still walk around with her grandkids, her great grandkids. Be able to have the independent ability to be able to carry stuff around the house, carry the groceries from the car to the kitchen and put stuff up in the shelves. Like I said earlier, get up off the toilet by herself after she's done using it.
Yeah.
Or if you fall, instead of totally, shattering your forearm, you're only going to have a slight bruise,
Right.
like that. Because of course, with the weight training, your body builds up that resilience to forces, to the stress and strains. So here, what was that?
The Wolf's Law theory.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
Either use it or lose it. So here, like I said, here's our introductory packages, which we'll be working with you guys with. And then, as we assess and progress through, we could talk and talk a little bit more in depth with those clients that end up coming and working with us.
Yeah. So basically, us as the physical therapists, will determine if patient would benefit from the 4, the 8, or the 12. But guys, this is a great deal. 30 sessions for $15. That is a steal. 45 minutes for 20, even better. For those who can't see or who are just listening on audio right now, there's 4 101 or 8 101 or 12 101 sessions with Andrew Infante. It's a 40% discount from what he usually charges. So, thank you, Andrew, for this. This is great for our patients. I know they would definitely appreciate this. Obviously, it's just for one package, right? After that, it would go back to original price, but still, like, I mean, this is a great starter just to get people to the door and feel comfortable and, create exposure, for your gym and, just let the community know that, hey, working together as a team and, we can really help, combat these comorbidities that people are dealing with. And since, we're located in the Port Isabel area, a lot of people are usually more active or have to be more active because, I mean, they want to go to the beach or, they have stairs to climb up to their beach house or their condo or whatever. I noticed that people who want to live around here need to be fit.
Yeah, and we don't have a hospital. The closest hospital is in Brownsville, which is 30 minutes away.
Yeah, that's right. That's a good point.
So if something happens, even so, like in my case, I'll tell you about a personal experience. Found out I'm allergic to peanuts. So last year, I was eating some mole. Mole had peanut butter in it, and just started breaking out in hives. Throat swelled up, couldn't breathe. But I know for a fact it was because, at least my knowledge wise, I had to slow down my breathing, couldn't panic. Feel the throat closing up, just try to get as big breaths as you could. So that way, whenever I got to the ER, they were able to hit me with some with the Benadryl and get that going for me. But my lungs and myself were strong enough to keep breathing. To try to get those breaths, those big enough breaths, so that way I wouldn't close up, and potentially have a worse off issue. So that's one thing, if something like that happens, you have to be able, like your lungs have to be strong enough to continue on.
Right.
The recent events with our virus issue. Our virus issue is a perfect example of why people should exercise and follow a fitness regimen and a sound diet plan with healthy habits. Unfortunately, it was hitting everybody, but it was mainly hitting and affecting the very obese, of course, the very old. Other issues come along with that. Again, type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes, if you cut yourself, you're at risk, 10 times risk more for infection. It's going to take a lot longer to close up and heal, things like that. But, the people that got sick, fortunately, they were able to recover a lot faster, not have to be hospitalized, than the ones that, were not as healthy. Cardiorespiratory system wasn't as strong. They weren't able to fight off. The body wasn't able to fight off as well as it could have. So it should have been a wake-up call. It should be.
So and that makes a great point. And it also brings up to my next point, Andrew, is that, there's a lot of heat on gyms that, it's high risk for coronavirus, right? And so tell us what you're doing to help
your safety measures, right?
Yeah, tell us about your safety measures and how you're keeping your clients safe, even during this pandemic. And even though Governor Abbott has already kind of like lifted the restrictions and whatnot, I mean, I think we're all safe to say that, we're still putting our masks on, as much as we can and following protocols just to, slow the spread and also just make our patients and clients feel safe. So tell us how you're doing.
So we're doing what we've always done. I was lucky enough to work under some great mentors over at A&M, and the cleaning habits and the maintenance that they drilled into our heads at that time, which we thought was dumb. Now being in this situation, it was perfect. We clean. Everybody always wipes off everything that they use. We have disinfectant bottles and sprays everywhere. We have a cleaning schedule that we follow on top of whatever we do daily. So we do deep cleanings every week as well. We do have a floor cleaner, so we clean our floors at least 3 to 4 times a week. So you go to some gyms and they probably never even clean, that floor has never seen fabuloso in its life. You know,
Yeah.
so that's something that we take pride in. And it, for one, you walk into a place like it, you don't want it to smell muggy and mildewy and moldy, and that's unfortunately where a lot of gyms lack. They take pride in a few other things like, oh well, we have this equipment, this equipment, this equipment. Okay, but how long is it going to stay working for one and clean? Because it all comes back to how you manage things, how you maintain things. People don't want to go into a dirty physical therapy clinic. They want to make sure that it's maintained, and the equipment doesn't really matter. It's again how you maintain it, how you're cleaning it off, and how you're so that way because it could not when you walk into a gym, it couldn't even be the virus that gets you. It could be a broken a loose dumbbell head that might fall off, or something with the bar, one of the O-rings snapped off because it wasn't maintained the right way. Because when you maintain stuff, you have to clean it, right? Can't be greasy, can't be any like that. So, but what we do, like I said, we have a cleaning schedule that we follow daily. We have a deep cleaning schedule that we follow weekly, and we do this every single day. So, and we have our members that you can talk to, and they can justify and back us up on that. So
Awesome.
They know.
I definitely have to piggyback on that and say that every person that walks into the doors of a new place, they will always, always, always judge the cleanliness and the safety of that building. So is this place clean? Because that speaks tons, right, about the types of services that they're going to receive there as well.
Well, also, you can look at a business's bathroom. You look at the bathroom and how they maintain it, and that says a lot about how they care about other things as well. You walk into, no offense to Stripes, but you walk into the Stripes and some of those things are dirty, they're nasty. You walk into a Buc-ee's and those things are, you can eat your stuff off of those toilets. Those places.
Not that I ever would.
Not that you would, but there's a huge difference in that, and you can just tell right off the bat. And that's one thing that we definitely take into account every single day. And like I said, our members, they can vouch for us on that because we drill it into their heads every day too. So
awesome. And Andrew, a question for you: how do our patients? Do they present just to you verbally, or do they need to present a voucher or something like that, or how do they contact you for all this?
So they can, of course, we'll know. Y'all's patients will know if they come from you guys because they'll be, hey, either yourself or Sergio will contact us and be, hey, we have a patient, they might be coming through. So, but aside from that, we have a scheduling system, and so they can actually do that on our website at ripcurrentathletics.com. Go to our contact page, they'll submit their info, name, phone number, email. That'll take them to our calendar, which they'll set up a day and time to schedule to meet with us. And that's where we'll get a little more information. We'll go over the health history. We'll go over their fitness history, things like that. And just to make sure that we'll be a good fit for each other, because one thing is we don't want them to come, invest in us and then not get anything out the investment because we're not a good fit. If we're not a good fit, we can always recommend out to, somebody else.
Right. And that's true. It's very important to fit with your trainer. Yeah. And same thing for therapy. Sometimes patients don't click with someone, and that's totally fine. Sometimes we need to refer out to somebody else, and that's completely fine.
Yeah. So our website is one way they can get a hold of us, ripcurrentathletics.com. Another way is through social media, Instagram or Facebook at ripcurrentathletics. Or not .com, but ripcurrentathletics. They can shoot us a DM, shoot us a message. They can also, schedule appointments through there as well. And, of course, just dropping on by, But for the most part, we always want everybody to schedule a time to consult. But, of course, if we're here, walk in, we'll gladly sit down and see what's going on, see how we can help you.
Awesome. And Is there a phone number that you guys have that they can call as well if people are not social media savvy?
Yeah. So our phone number is 956-299-4009. And again, they can find all this stuff on Google. Also, if they Google us, our website, our email, and our phone number are all on there. They can call or text us. If we happen not to answer, they can shoot us a text and we'll get right back to them.
Awesome. Okay. Any emails as well, or?
Yeah, our email is ripcurrentcf@gmail.com.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, Andrew, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you for taking the time to talk about the collaboration that we have going on for our Port Isabel, South Padre Island, Long Island Village, Laguna Vista, Laguna Heights area. Hope I didn't miss anyone over there, but definitely want to just, let the community know that, hey, we're doing everything that we can to help, improve your rehab experience, but also your wellness experience as well. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. And Andrew, congratulations to Rip Current Athletics for the 2-year anniversary. Really, we hope good luck on all y'all's future endeavors. And so we look forward to working with you guys and on this collaboration and helping as many people as we can in that area.
Yeah, most definitely. We couldn't have done it without our members and, past former members, current members, and future members, and everybody in the community that's, even took a business card or, like to post from us or anything, So we definitely appreciate the community support. And, like I said, we look forward to working with you guys a little more and collaborating and, doing what we've been blessed to do,
Yeah.
And helping these people, and helping our communities. So, like I said, thank you guys for having me on, and hopefully we'll be we can get another one of these going soon. Talking about the successes that we've had.
Yeah,
for sure, man. Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you very much. God bless. Take care.
All right, thanks, guys. You have a good one.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. This episode was brought to you by Juice Us. A healthy lifestyle starts here. They are located in Brownsville, Texas. They have great food, great drinks, great everything. Rashida, you want to elaborate more on this?
Yeah, it's a smoothie and juice bar, and they also have very, very, very delicious, healthy and plant-based foods. And so you guys will we have 2 gift cards available. So if you are replaying this video or watching this video, if you can ask us a question about today's topic that relates to today's topic, then we will draw you into a randomized small little raffle to win one of these. So we'll put in your name for a randomized drawing to win one of these amazing gift cards. Look how beautiful they are. Okay, I just have to look at that. Beautiful right here. So Juice Us sponsored this episode, guys. Beautiful gift cards here. We love Juice Us. They are sharing our same vision to support wellness. We are sorry about that. We are hand in hand supporting small businesses to improve the health needs of our patients and of our community in our county. And so we are striving for a more positive awareness of a healthy lifestyle. And what better way than to do that than to enjoy some juices. So post your questions, guys, and we will draw you in. Okay. We will probably depending on how many comments or questions we receive, we'll probably end it this weekend. So Sunday, right? We'll end it right there, and then we'll do the drawing, and then we will privately contact the winner so that we can send 2 gift cards. So we'll do 2 winners. Okay, 1 winner, 2 winners, 2 gift cards. Okay. And thank you to Juice Us for this sponsorship.
All right, let me type that out. 2 $10 gift cards.
Yes. Awesome, man. No, Christina Esquivel, Rio Current will not have those juices. This is something separate. This is just a sponsorship that we asked Juices to sponsor the episode, and so they are located in Brownsville. So no, Rip Current will not start serving juices over there.
Unless we're wrong, Andrew, you let us know. Do you guys offer juices there?
We do not. We don't.
Okay.
We don't have any juices or anything like that. But hey, we'd love to collab with Juices if they want to get that going too.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, guys. So that's it for today. We hope to see some questions. That way someone can win 2 $10 gift cards. All right, guys. Thank you. And we'll be having episode number 4 next Friday.
Thank you, guys. Stay safe, everyone.
Thank y'all.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.